Have you ever tried something, maybe it was a little odd or strange or kind of weird and you were a little embarrassed to talk about it, but then it actually started working? Well, today I'm sharing 5 quirky, kind of weird, strange things that I do on a regular basis. I think it's really helped improve aspects of my health, and they're simple, easy things to execute on a daily basis. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Maria, and I share my real life in midlife, all the wins, the losses, the pivots, and the challenges, and my journey to grow stronger, healthier, and wiser in my midlife. So please, let's welcome midlife with open arms because I think this is our best chapter yet. Let's get into those 5 habits. My first weird habit that I think is improving my health is that I stand on one foot when I brush my teeth, both morning and evening, and any time in between that I'm brushing my teeth. I think this is a tiny little habit stack that has been such a game changer for me. I mean, we all brush our teeth on a regular basis anyway, right? So why not incorporate a little bit of a habit on top of that, a little balance challenge that wakes your brain up in the morning, helps you create better posture, better balance, because as we grow older, we definitely need to rely on that balance. We don't want to be falling and tripping over our feet. Balancing on one foot helps engage your core and keeps you aligned. Absolutely yes, I wobble, I tip over, I reach for the faucet to balance myself a little bit sometimes, but it is a wonderful challenge and just a great, quick, easy way to get a balance challenge in several times a day. It's only 2 minutes. I mean, the time that you brush your teeth, try to keep your leg up for that amount of time. If you can't, work your way up to it. From a science perspective, balancing exercises help stimulate that part of the brain that manages coordination and mobility, and these are 2 important factors of long-term health. So just this tiny little daily practice of standing on one foot while brushing your teeth can really help stimulate those pathways. You know, when you hear that phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Well, it's totally true. So here's what I do. In the morning, I focus on my left leg, and in the evening, I focus on my right leg, and I switch it up. Sometimes in the morning, I'll do my right, and in the evening, I'll do my left. But I stick to that one leg for the duration of brushing my teeth. For the leg that I'm standing on, I keep it a little soft, like a soft knee. You don't want to be completely locking out your knee and causing a little bit of tension there. Just keep it really soft and straight, but soft, if you know what I mean. I've worked my way up to doing it for the full entire 2 minutes that I'm brushing my teeth, but if you can only do it for 10 to 15 seconds at a time, that's good. Just work your way up, and wobbling is okay. Just make sure you have something to grab onto. And those little wobbles, it's actually a way of training your brain to remember to keep you straight going forward. I know this might sound a little silly and a little perhaps ineffective, but I find that it's helping me more than it's hurting me. But I would rather build up my balance now instead of worrying about stumbling later on. Strange habit number 2 is that I jump 50 times a day. Now I do these jumps when I'm walking outside, and for some reason, if I don't get them in while I'm walking outside, I'll do them on my patio or just in my garage or just here in front of my mirror when I'm exercising. I heard this suggestion last year from Dr. Vonda Wright. She is an orthopedic surgeon, and she is all about midlife and menopausal health. And of course, she's all about keeping your bones healthy and strong as you age. So these little jumps, well, they're not exactly little. I actually take a lot of intensity in these jumps. I'm really trying to land with some force and really impacting my bones. And this impact is giving a little bit of an osteogenic signal, which is a bone strengthening signal. So shocking your bones in that way really helps to build them back up, or perhaps even just to keep them strong, if not to build them. Jumping is also a great way to stimulate the lymphatic system, to clear out the fluids and the toxins and get your body circulating. And yes, actually, this is also a little bit of a cardio workout, at least for me. I mean, I jump maybe 10 to 15 times in a single stretch, and my heart is racing and my lungs are just gasping for air at the end of that. So perhaps I need to be working on my cardio a little bit more, but it is definitely a little bit of, I guess you can say, a high intensity interval training type of little spurt of workout, like a little HIIT training. So I definitely can't muster the strength up to do all 50 at once, but throughout the duration of my walk, because we walk about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes every morning, I try to break it up and spread it out throughout the walk. And people look at me like I'm crazy because I'm jumping up in place, but who cares? I don't really mind it. And out here too, neighbors will see me out in the patio jumping up and down, but I also take pictures out there in the middle of the street, so people already think I'm a little strange, and I don't mind it. So these are not little like jumping jacks type of jumps, light on your toes type of jumping. These are hard, impactful jumps. jumps that I feel a stress go up through my entire body, and I feel like it is stimulating my bones to stay strong and work hard for me. If jumping is a little too impactful for you, start out light by just stomping your feet a little bit as you're walking. Not too hard, not too heavy, just start out light and see what your body can take. Now, of course, I've worked my way up to this type of stress level on my bones. By all means, I'm not a doctor or a professional in any way. This is just what's working for me. So whatever stage of life that you're in, please make sure that you're checking with a professional before taking on any of these little weird habits. All right, this third one, my husband still thinks I'm crazy for doing this almost on a nightly basis, and that is taping my mouth shut when I'm going to sleep. Now, mouth taping is something that I heard of back in 2021 when I was listening to a podcast with Dr. Mark Hyman, and then I heard a few other podcasts talking about it too, and I thought to myself, I really suffer from not such a great sleep. I definitely sleep with my mouth open. Sometimes I'm even guilty of snoring. And I just thought to myself, why not try this little itty bitty trick to see if I can get a more restful sleep? So I tried it for a few nights in a row. And yeah, lo and behold, I felt like I was improving my sleep. I'd slept better those nights than the nights I had not done it the nights before. And it was a habit that just kind of quickly stuck with me because I found it to be quite effective. Now, I don't do it every single night, but several nights a week, I definitely do it. And honestly, I should probably start keeping track of the nights that I don't do it versus the nights I do it and how I feel in the morning. From a science perspective, taping your mouth shut obviously prevents you from breathing through your mouth and forces you to nasal breathe, which is the way we should all be breathing. Nasal breathing stimulates nitric oxide production, which helps with oxygen circulation, which helps with oxygenating the blood. Nose breathing also acts like a bit of an air filter, so you're breathing in cleaner air. And as I said before, it also helps reduce the chances of snoring because you're breathing through your nose. And also, if you're a mouth breather, you notice that you wake up with severely dry mouth in the morning, and mouth taping also helps prevent that as well. And a dry mouth also leads to more cavities and more dental problems down the road. When you're closing your mouth while you're sleeping, you're keeping that area moist and hydrated, so that reduces the chances of cavities and gum disease. I think that's a good trade-off for just a little piece of tape on your mouth. I'm not saying this is everyone's cup of tea. In fact, I think you should check with your doctor if you suffer from sleep apnea or other sleeping disorders. This might not be the right solution for you. But for me, I definitely feel like it gives me a calmer sleep, and I also feel more restful and a little more clear-headed. Weird habit number 4, and now this one sounds almost a little mystical, but I enjoy gargling and humming on most mornings. I'll end brushing my teeth with a nice long session of gargling in the morning, and then I usually try to hum sometime in the morning, maybe when I'm making my coffee or my breakfast. I just hum a little tune to myself or just a low, long hum. I try to do it in a deeper voice, like a That's kind of weird. Sometimes I'll even hum a tune. For me, these two little weird habits, they feel very centering and grounding and also really, really calming. And that's exactly why I do these two calming, oddly strange little techniques, because they are both stimulating the vagus nerve, or maybe it's called vagus nerve, I'm not quite sure, but it's the nerve that's directly impacting the parasympathetic nervous system. And this is your rest and digest pathways. This is the pathway that takes you out of that fight or flight mode and gets you into that rest and digest, calming, soothing, restful, less stressed state. And for me, when earlier this year I was diagnosed with having my adrenals in complete failure because I was overstressed and my cortisol level was through the roof, I've been finding little ways to try to calm myself down, lower my stress levels, and just not feel so high-strung all the time. Yeah, gargling and humming could be quite strange. My husband thinks I'm really odd for doing it, but I think it's working for me. I've even gotten him to start gargling a little bit, but he's kind of drawing the line at the humming. I prefer to gargle with warm water, and I do it for at least 20 to 30 seconds. I try to do it longer if possible, but I always have that desire to breathe or to swallow it, so I end up spitting it out. Work your way up to a longer and longer time if you can. And for the humming, I like to do it for about a minute, and I'm trying to breathe in and out while I'm doing it. And I make sure the humming is really low so that it really tickles and vibrates through my chest and my throat. I know the humming sounds really strange, but trust me, it feels very grounding, very calming, and it's a great way to start the morning and not having such a stressful cortisol spike. So If you want to try that, I think you might really, really enjoy it. Strange habit number 5. Now this one is a little more popular than other ones, and so you might very well be doing this already, but I like to have a spoonful of ACV in the morning. That's apple cider vinegar in a glass of water, and I like to down that before having any breakfast or any food in the morning. I know it's not the yummiest of things, but I actually tolerate it quite well. I don't mind it at all. And I think the benefits far outweigh the taste. There are so many benefits to having a little bit of ACV in your morning water. From a science perspective, it can increase insulin sensitivity and lower your blood sugar spikes. And if you watched my belly fat reset video, I mentioned how insulin sensitivity is directly correlated to midsection belly fat. And so any little thing I can do to regulate my body and make sure that I am not contributing to any midsection weight gain, then I will gladly endure the little off-putting taste of some apple cider vinegar. Another benefit of apple cider vinegar, and this one really hits home with me, is that it helps to lower cholesterol and triglycerides, and also helps raise HDL for better heart health. And my recent blood work showed my cholesterol total level at 264 and my LDL level pretty high. So I'm one that needs to really practice on getting my cholesterol under control. So again, a little acidic ACV, it's no problem for me. Make sure you go with the one that says mother in it, because that is going to give you the most gut microbial optimization. Also, if you suffer from acid reflux or not having enough acid production in your stomach, ACV can actually help stimulate the production of acid in your stomach. And oftentimes people have acid reflux because they don't have enough acid build up in their stomach. But again, I'm not a doctor, so check with your physician on that. All you need is 1 tablespoon of ACV in about 8 ounces of water. Have it in the morning first thing. I definitely think it's something you can get used to, and I certainly think the benefits outweigh the taste. It's time for my midlife minute, where I talk about something that I'm really loving lately. And this week it's about something that helps keep me accountable. Now, you might find this a little strange, but I enjoy weighing myself every single day. I know you're immediately thinking this might sound a little obsessive, it doesn't sound healthy, but for me it's not exactly the number that I'm looking at. It's just kind of a way to track my progress, and it's a way to understand my body. Like, for example, let's say I ate something that I normally don't eat in a given day, and maybe it was a little extra salty, and then the next day I have a lot of water retention and bloat, and the scale might show an extra pound or 2 or 3 as a result of it, and I know it's probably because of the food I ate. My scale is also a smart scale, and it's linked up to this app, and it helps give me all my stats that I'm looking for. I've set my goals here for my weight and my body fat, and currently I'm at 139.4 with 25% body fat. It also gives me stats as far as my muscle mass and my bone mass. My metabolic age is 47. And there's also tracking methods. You can track your progress over time. I find this very helpful. And again, it's not so much about that number day in and day out. I like to take an average at the end of the week. And also every Sunday, I like to take photos of my body and also measurements in certain parts of my body. This is a way that I like to keep track of my progress, since I'm in a little bit of a fitness journey right now and really trying to strengthen, tone, and lose body fat. Something like this is very important. I'm very much of a data girl, I'm very much of a numbers girl, and I like to see progress. And seeing those numbers changing or remaining the same or going up or going down or whatever, it's just a way for me to track my progress and know if I'm doing things right, or that if perhaps I need to pivot and make a few changes. Weighing myself is just kind of that quick little check-in, like, hey, how am I doing today? It helps keep me honest, it keeps me consistent, and it helps me celebrate my wins when I know I'm doing things right. So there you have it, 5 little weird habits that I do every day to help me feel a little better. They might sound funny, they might look a little strange, but it's these small, consistent habits that make bigger shifts over time. Let me know if there's any healthy habits that you might be doing that others find a little odd or strange. I'd love to hear it in the comments below. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please subscribe. If you'd like to connect with me further, I have a monthly newsletter that goes out the first of every month, and it's a mishmash of my fashion and my wellness channel. I share lots of tips and great ideas there as well. You can sign up through the QR code or the link in the description box below. And when you sign up, you'll get my free 5-day belly fat reset guide, which is full of helpful tips and a wonderful way to reset your body. Thank you for being here, and remember, our midlife is our time to shine brighter than ever. I'll see you very soon. Bye.